Hey everybody. So for those of you guys who are going to join in later, just go ahead and skip ahead probably to somewhere in the middle, because I know there's going to be a lot of you that are going to be probably disagreeing with me, but I am going to give you my straightforward opinion on this lens and why I should have never bought it, my experience within the past week or so, and why I'm going to be returning this lens literally today after I'm finished with this video, and why it's just better to never settle when it comes to your equipment. Just get what you initially want. Like, if it costs you more money, save up and get it. Don't settle for an older version because you're going to regret it. So, for a while now, I've been wanting a 35mm 1.4. I think it's a wonderful focal length. It's very flattering for portraits, and it's a very sharp lens. But what I didn't realize when I upgraded my camera to the 5D Mark IV is that putting a 20-year-old version of a lens on a brand new camera body with a different core sensor and all these different things wasn't going to work out that great in terms of giving me the sharpest image possible. Now, when I say this, I mean, like, I have the 50mm 1.8 and I have the 100mm macro 2.8 IS version. And they both come out tack sharp. I don't have issues with those lenses. And I've put the 16-35 on there, the f4, not the 2.8 versions 1, 2, or 3. I had the 16-35 f4. I put that lens on that camera all the time, and it is perfect. It is sharp. It does exactly what I need it to. But the minute I got this lens and tried to shoot at 1.4 is when I ran into trouble. Now, as you can see, for a used lens, it's in really good shape. Like, there is no complaints there. This thing is sharp. It's not sharp. Sorry, it's not sharp. This thing is clean. I mean, the glass was clean. I mean, I was very happy when I got this lens in the mail. Like, it just looked so good. It looked like it was well taken care of. There was no issues with the glass. Cosmetically, it looked nice and sound. There was maybe a little bit of rubbing, like, on the body of the lens in certain spots, but otherwise, this lens, when I got it, I was like, wow, I'm so happy to have this lens. And then when I used it, I was like, this does not live up to, you know, the great pictures that I've seen, especially on Julia Trotti's channel. Like, when I started taking pictures with it, I was so disappointed because it wasn't that sharp, and I was thinking, is it me? Is it because I'm shooting wide open that I'm having a difficult time getting it to be sharp? And then I thought, well, no, like, I shoot wide open on a ton of other lenses, and I've never had this issue. So I was like, you know what, I need to figure out what's going on with it. And I did a little test photo shoot with a friend, and we shot images at like 2.8 for the majority of the time, because I tried a couple of 1.4 and they just weren't coming out sharp. They actually looked blurry. Like, I thought maybe I had too much camera shake, but I was like, no, because when I shoot at 1.4, you know, I have to usually up my shutter speed because it gets like the background here, everything is blown out. And it didn't help. It was still blurry. I was really frustrated. So I just switched over to 2.8 because that was the next aperture that I'm used to shooting at, that I knew. I was like, there's no possible way that you can not be sharp at 2.8. And even lo and behold, when I'm going through these photos, after I'm importing them, I'm in Photoshop, I'm in Lightroom, and I zoom in to about 100%, it's still not tack sharp. Not like my 100mm, not even like my 50mm. And the 50mm 1.8 is $125 when you buy it when it's not on sale. So I was really, really frustrated. I was like, okay, something is wrong with the lens. And so I started doing some research. I was like, okay, you know, what could it possibly be? Does it need a lens calibration? Do I need to send it off to Canon and get it serviced? Do I need to send it to the, there's like a local camera shop up the couple miles out the way. I was like, do I need to take it to them? And I was like, no, because I'm really picky about who I let service my equipment and stuff. So I was like, no, let me just send it off to Canon. But I was like, but how much are they really going to charge me for this? Are they going to turn around and say, oh, like, you know, it may need something else? Like, I don't want to pack on more and more money to a lens that's not even worth that much, because I purchased this lens for a little over, like, it was $823.95 from B&H Photo and Video. And it just, for it to look this good, I was very surprised. And originally, when I was looking to purchase this lens, there was one that was in better condition, but they ended up canceling my purchase because they were like, oh, well, we think we might have lost the one that you purchased. So they were like, they issued a refund, which I was highly pissed about because I was like, that's not my issue. Like, you need to send me another lens that's equivalent to the one that I just purchased. So they sent me this one, and now I'm having issues with this again. So I'm just kind of ticked off with B&H Photo and Video in general right now. I don't want to, like, I'm so upset with them right now because they basically sent me a default lens. Like, they sent me something that doesn't work, or they didn't take the time to really go through this lens when they got it to make sure that it actually worked before selling it to somebody. Because now I have to pay for it. And come to find out, you know, I just got off the phone with them to, you know, request a return. And in the fine print, it says, if you choose to use the shipping label, you know, we're going to be taking off $10.30 from your total return of how much you paid. So basically now I'm paying for shipping. Like, shipping was free, and now you're taking back like $10.30 because you sent me a defaulty lens. That's messed up. So I'm pissed about that. But I mean, honestly, I feel like this could have been a really great lens had there just not been so many different like factors playing into the part where the lens just doesn't work for my camera body. Like, the 5D Mark IV is literally the most recent high-end camera that Canon is currently selling as far as a professional grade camera. So for this lens to not really work with it, I was really disappointed. I was really hoping that this was, because there's just been so many great reviews about it, but they're also older reviews, which makes a little bit of sense. So now I'm having to make the tough decision of, do I want to work my tush off for like the next 2 weeks so that I can afford the new 35mm, because, you know, keep in mind, I am a photographer. I do need to work. I need this lens. I need another professional lens in my kit. And I'm also traveling to St. Thomas for a destination wedding. So I'm like, do I work my butt off for like the next 2 weeks so that I can spend the money on the newer 35mm, the version 2 that I know there will be no issues with? Or do I just suck it up and get a Sigma? Because personally, I don't like off-brand lenses. And I know there are going to be people that are going to be like, oh, but Sigma's 35mm 1.4 is great. Like, you should give it a try. And I'm like, I don't doubt that it is probably